Uh, smells so good, so warm. I want to dig into it, but I know I gotta wait. Hope everybody's doing well. So let's make some bread, why don't we? Well, start the process of making bread. So I'll run over what we got here, then I'll talk about it a little bit more once I get this all together, because we got to start making this process. We got to feed the starter, and then I got to tell you how to make the starter as well. But for starting to make the bread, I just do the half recipe, because I can't really eat that much bread. So everything right here is going to be half really of what the full is. So it's a half a cup of the starter that I made up, 3 cups of bread flour, a half a tablespoon of salt, and that's kosher salt, a quarter cup, of sugar, and then a quarter cup of oil. And then I'm going to do warm water, and that's going to be 2/3 of a cup of it. And I've got my little thermometer here so I can get my temperature of my water right. But I'm going to go ahead and start putting everything in the bowl. So there's my half a cup of the starter going in. And now with my starter, I let it sit out and come up all to room temperature before I started this. And then also it's good to do it like that. So because when you need to go ahead and feed it, you got to have it already at the room temperature. So there's my 3 cups of the bread flour, the half or quarter or half sorry, tablespoon of salt, a quarter cup of the sugar, and then quarter cup of the oil there. And I just use vegetable oil. Now I can get my water, get it at temperature. So I'm going to run my water right at 110. It's like 100 to 110, but I go on a little bit of the upper side of that 110, because when you're getting it out into the bowl and everything and mixing up, it'll start cooling on down. So if you're over 110, just a little bit is okay, but I usually try to stick around that 110. Give it a check, see what the water is. What, 98, 100. There we go. What, 110 right there. So that's good enough. Fill it up. 2/3 of a cup here. Scoop my bowl over so I don't have spillage. Go. And now we can mix. Started a mixing. You can see it starting to come together. And I always wear just gloves, so it won't stick to me too bad, because it starts getting a little sticky. And then once it gets to that right there, I'll go ahead and get my hands in there and get to kneading. And you're going to knead it for right at 5 to 10 minutes. Now if you've got a stand mixer with a dough hook, you're good to go. But if not, you get to work your muscle a little bit. So I'm going to start getting this kneaded, and I'll see y'all back in the 5 minutes when I've got it done. So we'll see y'all. Alrighty y'all, so I've got it mixed up here, and usually when I knead it, I just grab one side, roll it in on itself, and then push like that. just keep rolling and pushing. So I've done it for the 5 minutes there. So nice little ball here. It rolls itself into. So it looks pretty good. So now, bloop, in a greased little bowl. And this is a warm wet dish towel. I'm gonna put this over it. And I'm just gonna let it sit overnight. Get it out in the morning to start getting it ready to bake in that process, because he'll be getting it out of here, getting it in another greased loaf pan, and also have to knead it before I put it in there. So it's a process, but it's worth it. So I'm gonna sit this way, and I'm gonna show you how to feed up the starter now. So I'll see y'all in a second. Alrighty, y'all, so here's what we're going to need to feed the starter back. We got a cup of the warm water again, and again I got to try to push it right at that 110 mark. Half a cup of sugar, and then a fourth of a cup, or right at a fourth of a cup of potato flakes. So go ahead and get those in there. There we go. And then we'll get this mixed up. Give it a mix for about a minute or so, just spinning around, so you can start getting that sugar and potato flakes a little dissolved. Alrighty, y'all, got it mixed up here. Maybe y'all can see it there. I don't want to spit it out. So now I'm going to let this sit out all day too on my counter. And then right when I'm going to be going to bed, I'll put it in the fridge. But with this, I'm just going to take out 2 cups. So I'll only have 2 cups of what I made here. Because if you don't take out but just 2 cups, you're going to get more starter than you can ever make bread being a home cook, unless you want to give it to other folks. But once this is sat out all day, I'll give it another little mix. I'll get out 2 cups and I'll put it back in my bowl to have here to keep making my starter with, because every 5 days you'll get your starter out and you'll refeed it and make bread too. But if you don't want to make bread, you can still just feed your starter. Just feed it like you do. Let it sit out overnight, and then take out your 2 cups, put it back in, and then just put it in your fridge. And then every 5 days do that rotation of feeding it just like I did, and then you can do like making the bread. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let this sit out all day, and I'll probably see y'all back tomorrow when I'm getting started in the process of getting the bread made. So I'll see y'all. Well, alrighty, y'all, I've uncovered it up here. So it's the next morning. You can see we've got a pretty good rise in it from what it was. So it rose up pretty good. So I've got my board floured out here. I'm gonna get it pulled out and on there. Some sticks to it, but that's fine. And now we're just gonna work this for a few minutes, just trying to knock out some of the air bubbles in it. Roll it like this for maybe 2-3 minutes, and then I'm gonna throw it in my pan there. Now I'm kind of just gonna roll it up on itself, make a little loaf out of it so I can put it in my pan to rise some more. There we go. That's pretty good. So now just in the pan it goes. Get it kind of evened out. So now I'm going to just let it rest for 8 hours, and we'll come back and then we'll start to get to baking it. So I'll see y'all back when I fix to put it in the oven. So I'll see y'all. Well, alrighty, y'all. So y'all ready to finally get it in the oven? To show you a quick little clip of what it looks like up close. It's already rose quite a bit, just sitting and proofing in them 8 hours. So I'm finally ready to get in there, get it in the oven after about a week. It takes a while, but patience pays off for this. So now I'm just gonna get this, put it in a 350 degree oven for 25 minutes. And then after that 25, I'm gonna get it out, get some melted butter on top of it, back in for another about 5 minutes. Then I'll take it out of the low pan, put it on a little wire rack to let it sit and chill, and then you can finally chow down. So it takes a while, but it's worth it. But we'll get this in the oven, and then I'll see y'all back after it's done probably. So I'll see y'all. Alrighty, y'all, got it done here. I wish y'all could smell it. That just warm butter and fresh baked bread smell, just all wafting through the apartment here. It smells wonderful. So now it's just time to let it cool. It's gonna take at least probably about 2 hours or so to let it cool down. So I got it on my wire rack just above my little pan there. So I'm just gonna let it cool here. I'm not gonna eat this one on camera because this is actually one I made to share. So, but what I described with the scent in the air is basically what it tastes like. It's that rich, sweet cream butter, and then you're just soft, fresh baked bread. That's what it tastes like. Yeast bread too. So that's all it is to it. Takes a while. Now with the starter for it that I said I'd share too, what I did with feeding the starter, all you'll do is, right there is add in just a packet of dry active yeast. So you'll just do that same little process. Put the yeast in there and just let it sit out all day so it can kind of just start working and proofing, and then you'll put it in the fridge. Then you'll take it out in the 5 days, let it come up to your room temperature. Take out what you need for baking, feed back the starter, and let it sit out all day while your bread is proofing for that first time. And then once you're fixing to go to bed at night, just put it back in the fridge, and then you'll still be working on your bread to proof on up, work it on down, put it in your pan, let it rise to 8 hours, and then you can bake it for the 30 minutes. So 7 days for 30 minutes of cook time, but it's worth it for sure. It just takes time. Don't rush it. Be patient with it. Let the yeast and stuff do its fun with the sugar and potato flakes. But that's all there is to it. So it takes a while, but it's worth it, like I said. So hope y'all enjoyed this one. Y'all like, share, and subscribe if you want to, if you haven't already. When you do, you're welcome on into the Head to Tail family. We love you. Welcome on in. So thank y'all again. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.